to charge Mr. Opuni and, for that matter, the two other defendants with the specifics.
Those look very similar to the case we saw earlier that took Abuga Pele into the cooler. But let's talk about this one in particular. You recall that sometime last year, Dr. Opuni was in the news because workers of Cocoa Board were unhappy with him. How does this case relate to that?
In fact, it relates to it directly. If you remember, the workers of Cocoa Board actually went ahead to petition the president, asking that he be removed and that he should be investigated. It appears like their petition was not heeded to. Now, these charges that have been preferred against him are directly reflecting on those accusations that this Cocoa Board workers made against Mr. Opuni. Indeed, I have heard one of the Cocoa Board officials speaking, and he said clearly that they are actually even surprised because it appears like the charges that have been preferred are even much more detailed beyond what they knew. And so that's the nature of these whole issues that are being discussed.
I see. Now, I should also add that I have spoken to the ICU, who also feel vindicated because the ICU is one of those groups, members within the Cocoa Board group that asked the president to, remove Dr. Stephen Opuni. But away from that, one name that we hear again is this Seydou Agongo guy. Who is he?
Well, my immediate checks tells me that he is one person who is known in the national circles as Zira, and he is the owner of certain organizations in the country. We are told that from the charges that have been preferred, we are told that largely he seems to have worked together with Mr. Opuni in defrauding the state of the various amounts of money. I can tell you from the analysis that I've done of the documents, I identified several amounts, 43 million, 75 million, 98 million, and what have you. And so this man is said to be somebody who worked together with Mr. Opuni in executing this crime that has been identified by the state. And
then there is a third respondent.
Indeed, the third respondent is actually a company, and I have tried to find out the details about that company. I have not gotten much because of the bureaucracy that surrounds it, but it is Agricult. It tells you that it's a company that was formed by whoever are the directors, and they are responsible for some of the issues that have been identified in the suit.
I see. When is the court likely to hear this matter?
Well, so the case was actually prepared on the 12th of March. It was presented or filed at the court on the 14th of March. That is today, this morning around 8:35. So per calculation, I presume that on the 23rd of March, the case is likely to come up in the court. We do not know which court. I know that the case was filed at the General Jurisdiction Court, and so it will definitely be allocated to one of the judges, whether a financial tax judge or a commercial court judge or a general jurisdiction judge. We do not know. So we wait to see which court will be invited to hear this case on the 23rd.
Well, it looks like we are in for another long haul as far as this case is concerned.
Indeed, yes. There are three accused persons, one a company. Yeah. Of course, once you're a company, you are considered a legal entity. So you're a legal person. So I can say that 3 persons have been charged.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Wilberforce. I'm grateful for the insight. Wilberforce Asare is our court correspondent. Let's turn attention to another matter that, according to the minority, reeks of corruption. Minister of State in charge of public procurement, Sarah Adwoa-Safo, today parried questions from Ashaiman MP Ernest Nogbe on the purchase of some 1,800 used vehicles by acting Maslock CEO Stephen Amwa. The NDC MP alleges procurement laws were breached in the 28.8 million cedi deal. Nogbe also wants answers on the Vocacom Ghana Post GPS deal.
On the floor of the House, the Procurement Minister, Adwoa-Safo, said the Ashaiman MP's questions were misdirected. According to her, the Finance and Communications Ministries are the appropriate quarters to seek such answers.
Mr. Speaker, per the definition section of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663 and Act 914 as amended, minister means minister responsible for finance. Hence, in accordance with our standing orders, Order 62 of this House, Mr. Speaker, the question ought to be directed to the Ministry of Finance. Thank
you. Speaker Professor Mike Okwe consequently directed the responsible sector ministers to appear before the House with answers to the questions.
I will direct that the question should be redirected, especially once the pathway has been revealed, to the Ministry of Finance, and then we make progress.
Speaking after proceedings, Ernest Nogbe rejected the explanation of the minister. According to him, the move is an attempt to hide information from the public.
There's something to hide. Otherwise,